and I would remember the verse that says, "Broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many find." And but anyway, so they wanted me to do a show because I had not been performing. So I told Bobby, I said, I'm thinking of putting a couple of gospel songs, well, he brought me to Tower Records and introduced me to my first gospel album by Andrew Crouch. Now, Andrew Crouch is the composer of my tribute. And as I listened to the song, I said, wow, I can sing this song because it sounds like Elvis Presley, the grassroots, the black grassroots music of Elvis was there. Anyway, we would read the Bible, and of course he said, no Bible study, we're just going around robin. What do you mean round robin? I know basketball, round robin, Now, well, you choose a book, you read one chapter, I'll read one chapter, my brother will read one chapter, and until we finish the book. Okay, so we started doing that, and sometimes we'll end up at wee hours of the morning, the sun will rise, and we're still reading overnight. And my favorite book, the book of Revelation, became my favorite book. Not because I understood it, but I was interested in the end times. Because I was growing in a religious home. My grandmother is a very religious woman. My aunt, who brought me up in San Francisco, at Del Monte, Quezon City, always would bring me to church. And they would tell me, you need to be good because someday you're going to face God and there's going to be the judgment day. So I was interested in the book of Revelation. But anyway, I learned three important things reading the Bible. Number one, I learned that there are only two places where your soul will go to when you die. Either you go to heaven or to hell. No purgatory, no limbo. Number two, I learned that good works is not going to pay for one iota of your sin. I grew up in a religion that you need to be in a state of grace, meaning to say, like no missing of Sunday Mass or no immoral sin. If you're in a state of grace, then fine, you're going to die. But since we're not perfect, we have what is called venial sins. And the venial sins will be purged in a place called purgatory. Right? So, when you die, and you go there, how long you're going to stay depends on how many good works you have done, how many people you have helped, and how many masses and prayers are being given to you by your loved ones that are left behind. So that is how I grew up. But then I read in the Bible, in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9, it says there, as far as salvation is concerned, as far as being saved from hell, it says, for by grace are you saved through faith. And that, not of yourselves. It is a gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. Wow, I said, this is not what I have learned. And the tense that they use, for by grace are you saved. You're already saved. You already know where you're alive. It is a gift. A gift is not a reward. I learned good works, you will be rewarded to go to heaven. It's no longer a gift. But the Bible says it's a gift. So that is another surprise. And also I learned that no matter how super religious you are, unless something happened to you, you will never even see the kingdom of heaven. Because one time, a man named Nicodemus went up to Jesus and asked him something. And Nicodemus is a member of the Sanhedrin. In the Jewish religion, the Sanhedrin are the Knesset. They are like the Congress. They interpret the law of Moses. And to be a member of the Sanhedrin, you need to know by heart the first 5 books of the Bible, meaning Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. The Jews call them the Torah, or the law. Now this guy is a Sanhedrin. So he understands that, he teaches. And at the same time, he was a Pharisee. A Pharisee is the most strictest sect in Judaism. When the law requires them to fast once a week, they fast twice a week. So he is super religious as far as religiosity is concerned, as far as knowledge of God is concerned. Nothing. I don't know anything. And yet the super religious said, Jesus said, unless a man is born again, He cannot see the kingdom of heaven. And Nicodemus said, what do you mean, born again? Can a man enter his mother's womb the second time and be born again? That's a big problem for him and for his mom, right? Well, when I read that and when I heard that, I've got a bigger problem because my mom was already dead by then. And then the Lord qualified what he was saying in the following verse. Unless you are born of water and the Spirit, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. What does it mean, born of water and the Spirit? You know, the Bible, you don't have to guess, because it explains it. People have made the mistake of interpreting the Bible instead of allowing the Bible to interpret what they have learned. And the Lord said, unless a man is born of water and the Spirit, he will never see the kingdom of heaven. For that which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is a spirit. Brothers and sisters and friends, we are about 75% water. Yeah? We are water. We were born in water. In other words, being born in water is being born physically. If you are not born physically, you are not here. You don't need to be born spiritually. Right? So a spiritual rebirth. I said, what does it mean? And then my friend explained to me simply what happened in the Garden of Eden. What did God say to Adam? You can eat freely of every fruit of the trees in the garden, but there's only one fruit you cannot eat, and that is the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, because the moment you eat that, you are going to die. Again. You're going to die. Die. Well, the serpent talked to Eve. He undermined the authority of Adam. And Eve said, and you know, the serpent is very wise, very cunning. He said, did God say you cannot eat of any fruit of the trees of the garden? That's not what God said. And then Eve said, no, of course not, we can eat, but there's only one tree that we cannot eat. Don't even touch it. That's not part of the command. Lest you die. That is not part of the command. And the serpent, no, come on. God is a cagey. You know why He doesn't want you to eat that? Because the moment you eat that, you're going to be like God. You're going to be wise. You're going to know good, right from wrong. And that is still the line of the cultists today, the New Age. You do this, you do that, you're going to be like God. That line is still being used, and many people are falling for that. I almost did. No, you're not going to. Anyway, the Bible says, well, Eve saw that the fruit is nice to look at, desirable to be eaten. Maybe you know, I don't know, but in the Philippines, if you get a tree ripe mango from some palace and you smell the fruit, you like to eat everything, even the skin, and that's probably what she ate. She didn't die. She gave it to Adam. And you know the problem with the man, with Adam? He was looking, listening to the conversation. He didn't say, hey, stop talking to that. He ate. All of a sudden, they cut in Paris. They were naked. They covered their nakedness. And then God was walking in the garden and he hid. What happened? The fellowship, sweet fellowship between them and God was broken now. Adam, where are you? Of course, the Lord knows where they are. It's just for us to understand that there has been a severance of fellowship. Well, we're embarrassed because we're naked. Who told you you're naked? Did you eat of the tree? Well, this woman that you gave me, they started, that's how it is, human nature. They don't want to face responsibility. This girl, is that true, Eve? Well, the serpent made me do it. Well, okay, because you did this, cursed are you among the beasts, because you're not now going to walk on your fours, and you're going to be crawling, and dust you will eat. And then, and you, woman, because you did this, I'm going to multiply your pain in childbirth. And to Adam, because you listened to your wife. Because I already told you. But instead of listening to me, you listen to your wife. And guys, there are some things that is not negotiable. When God says this, we need to just greet whatever happens in the home. It's not negotiable. We need to pick our battles. Cursed is the ground. Out of the sweat of your brow, you're going to bring your food. And they were driven out of the garden. What happened? You see, death is only a separation from one matter to another. When by accident or by sickness, my soul separates from this body is dead. You see the glove? Remove the hand, it's just the glove. Lifeless. Goes to the ground, it becomes dust. But the soul continues to exist because it does not disintegrate like our bodies. But the death of the soul is forever separated from God. They're in hell, while God is in heaven. So the Spirit of God that was in man was gone. It cannot